Hey, I'm Brian from BrianKeithFitness.com, qualified personal trainer and nutritionist. Here are 6 tips for a better night's sleep. So when it comes to having a better night's sleep, there are lots of different things that you can do to improve your quality of sleep at night. First thing is stick to a sleep schedule. So this sounds super obvious, but a lot of us forget it. Having a schedule at nighttime is one of the things that can support a good night's sleep. And when it comes to improving your sleep quality, for anyone that's into health or fitness, you know how important it is to prioritize that for your recovery, for your ability to adhere to a diet, and for your ability to repair between workouts. So have a schedule that you can stick to. Whether that's going to bed every night at 10 p.m., 11 p.m., or even later, have a bedtime that you have a schedule that you stick to religiously. And the same on the other end. Have a wake-up time that you're consistent with every day. So if you go to bed at 10 p.m., are you getting up every morning at 6 a.m. for your 8 hours of sleep? Now again, when it comes to the quantity of sleep, that's going to vary person to person. Some people need 7 hours, some people need 8 hours, some people need 9 hours plus. So experiment with your sweet spot, but have a routine around it. And if possible, try and keep this routine consistent throughout the week. It's very tempting to have a different bedtime and wake up time Monday to Friday, and then a different one at the weekend. But if you can keep that consistent, or at least as close as possible to what you do during the week as at the weekend, you're going to find that you have an improvement in your sleep quality. Tip number 2, exercise is great, but not too late in the day. Exercise is a little bit of a catch-22 when it comes to sleep. Do it at the right time, and it greatly enhances your ability to sleep and have higher sleep quality that night. Do it at the wrong time, and it does the complete opposite. What happens with exercise is it releases cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone. It's actually the hormone that wakes you up in the morning. If you think of melatonin, which is your sleep hormone, and your cortisol, which is your stress hormone, they're balancing out based on the time of day. In the morning, cortisol tends to be higher, melatonin is lower, and you wake up. At nighttime, melatonin tends to be higher, and cortisol can be lower, and it can help you fall asleep. Exercising can disrupt this, and doing it too late at night can give you that cortisol bump that can stop you falling asleep. So general recommendation is don't work out right before bed. You normally want to have a 2 or 3 hour window to work out before you go to bed in order to enhance your sleep quality that night. Some people will train in the morning, afternoon, early evening, and that's going to work great for them in terms of expending some energy and improving their sleep quality. So do your workout, understand that exercise plays a huge role in your improvement for sleep, just don't do it too late in the evening. Tip number 3, avoid or minimize caffeine and nicotine. Now hands up, I'm a full-blown caffeine addict, and my daily cup of coffee is one of my highlights every single day. So I'm probably not going to stick to this one myself. Understanding the half-life of caffeine can go a long way towards supporting your sleep quality that night. Caffeine has about a 5.5 hour half-life, which means that 5.5 hours after you take it, half of that caffeine is still in your system. So let's say, for example, you have a cup of coffee at 12 o'clock in the day, and there's 200 mcgs of caffeine in that cup of coffee. At 5:30 or 6 p.m., you're still going to have about 100 mcgs of caffeine in your system. That's why having a coffee mid-afternoon can be one of the worst things you do for a good night's sleep. Now, there is genetic variabilities, and certain people will metabolize caffeine faster than others, but a general rule of thumb is 5.5 hours for the half-life for the majority of the population. So try and keep your coffee or your caffeine intake limited to earlier on in the day. And the same with nicotine, regardless of what form it's coming in. Whether it's from cigarettes, gum, or from a supplement, try and minimize that to earlier on in the day. Tip number 4, avoid alcoholic drinks before bed. Now this one is a little bit of a catch-22, because if you've had a few drinks before bed, that normally helps you fall asleep. But the problem is it reduces your quality of sleep. Alcohol disrupts your natural rapid eye movement or REM sleep cycle. So even though you might have a nightcap, a glass of wine, a little shot of brandy, a couple of beers before bed, and that will help you fall asleep, it's actually disrupting your quality of sleep. So you're more likely to wake up in the middle of the night, to either go to the toilet or just wake up randomly, and you're not going to feel as recovered and rested the next day. So minimize your alcohol intake to a couple of hours before bed if you're having a drink. Tip number 5, avoid large meals or drinks before bed. So drinks, whether it's water, soda, or any alcoholic drink, is quite obvious. If you drink late at night, there's a good chance you're going to be disrupted in the middle of the night to go to the toilet. But the same applies for large meals. Now, when it comes to eating before bed, it really depends on what works best for you. Some people find that going to bed fasted helps them with a better night's sleep. Other people find a snack a couple of hours before bed improves their sleep quality that night. And others like to have a meal before they go to bed because it helps them fall asleep. There is no one size fits all here. But what generally happens is large meals tend to disrupt most people's sleep. Your body is busy digesting that meal, and it's going to disrupt your sleep quality. So don't have a massive meal and then go to bed. Tip number 6, and I'm stepping outside my circle of competence for this one, but as someone that's had plenty of experience with medications over the years, if you're taking a medication that has a side effect that disrupts your sleep quality, talk to your doctor about maybe switching to an alternative. There are lots of medications out there, from your contraceptive pill to just general medications that you may be taking short term, that can massively disrupt your sleep quality. And if this is the case, talk to your doctor about maybe considering switching to a different alternative medication. As I said, this one is outside my circle of competence, but it is worth discussing with your doctor, as it can really disrupt your sleep quality at nighttime. So there are 6 tips for a better night's sleep. I'm going to do a follow-on video with 6 more tips, so stay tuned for that coming next week. So did this video help? Are there any more tips that I may have forgotten or may be coming in the next video? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe for videos coming every single week.